Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel, and Shokaruni, welcome back to Farm Sim 17. And yeah, one of the old boys, or girls depending on your point of view. But yes, welcome back, thank you for joining and taking some time out to see what on earth this guy's blithering on about this time. Well, this time I thought I would make good on a little comment I made. Yes, young Mr. 7 is the boy in question. So let's have a wee nosy and just do a quick wee experiment, and then well, I'll probably blither on a lot more about where I actually am, because it's rather splendiferous. So if I could actually read, that would be good. Where are my auger wagons gone? No, not auger wagons. Loading wagons. There you go, that one. Right, now, I'm not 100%, but I think this is the one. There's two versions. There's, oh, he sneaked in as well. I don't know how he got in. Anyway, there's two versions. There's these, and then there's tandem. Shokaruni, extra axle. I know the insight is astonishing. Anywho, I believe the one in question was the hamster, so let's have a hamster, and I'm not going to change anything, because to be blunt, I've no idea what all that yeah, just no idea. So we'll just, actually no, not do that, I'll do that. There we are, one of them. Yes, lovely. Back. Now then, a comment I made to him was, have you tried a base game vehicle? See what that does, or not. So there's one of them. Now, as you can see, quite a few mods running in here, because this is not a clean game, so to speak. This is in fact Hillside Farm, which I just love to little bitties because of, well, that hills. And that I will be going into in probably far more detail than I should very shortly. But for the time being, that's where we are. We've got one of these old boys. I seem to be a bit far out, but you'll see why. So we'll do that. Now, I'm using more realistic gearbox, and it's found a newer version of gearbox. And this is mainly the reason I'm unlikely to go to FS19, because this is quite a lot to compete with. Right, anyway. Oh yeah, and what have I not done? You see? Species isn't the only one that can set going in and go, oh yeah, I'll completely fluff that. So let's do that. And we'll do that. Right, see how that goes. Because I do like things a bit noisy. Well, I'm just a noisy sort. Right, there we are now then. Right. That would seem reasonable. So, and yes, I'm using both clutch in, clutch out. Yeah, so I'm both using I'm using clutch, I'm using gears, gear stick, the whole shooting match. I'm a spoilt brat, as I've said many times before, and probably will again. Now this is a shuttle, so we do that. Now then, I haven't actually tried this, so I might be just setting myself up for a huge fall. Could well be, because I've not tried this. Anyway, the issue was, we did that and then that, them their wheels were seized. Now, I know there are mods that do wear and tear, but I don't think they're that vicious that if you leave it for 2 minutes it will seize. Because I don't believe that young lad did bought one of these and then left it for, well, I don't know, a couple of seasons. Might have. And if it got rained on, in theory, yes, but no, it was not behaving. So we're doing that, and where are we? So that's that. That's reverse 2, 3. So that's 4.6 in it. Clutch out. And there you are. So now this is where it might go horribly wrong. We'll drop that. Actually, that was a silly place to do that. Let's just this boy I want. And yes, it does make now this isn't animated, but in mods where it's animated, that's me doing my shuttle gear and it actually clicks, and I just, that's the kind of attention to detail that appreciates me. Okay. Now the only thing is I've got plenty of mods, but I mean that's kind of overkill just a wee bit. Right, so there's a mod that's a bit more species like, I think you would agree. Right, now that's 55 horse, so we'll have that. We'll go for the old Deutz because that's 75, and I think, if memory serves, I'll do that. Yeah, that. Yeah, let's just go and have a quick nosy. No, it's still not an auger wagon, funnily enough. Come on, where are you? That one. Where are you? Hamster, that one. Yeah, 60 horsepower. So, being nice, which is not my natural, but anyway. Oi! You put them there. Right, so, two options for the game being clever. Is, well, what I think happened with species is it's something to do with the mod, as in, when, now that one's not done it, of course, now that I look. But a lot of them, when you unhitch, you get wheel chocks. And I don't know, is that a LUA, a subroutine? I don't know. I really don't know. That's why I appreciate mods, because I've had a look and it's it takes a lot of work. So, if that has not been copied across or done for whatever reason on the tractor that he was using, then that would be the issue. The other possible would be power, but I don't think it was underpowered. I think it was well forward. So you're 45. Heroes on 45. Yes. Oops. Stay there, hamster. Coming for you. Whoa. Brakes are okay. Yeah, brakes are yeah, they're there. They're pretty rubbish though. Ah, right. Okay, well it's not horsepower and that mod behaves. How do you... Ah, 5, okay. Whoa, whoa, brakes! Chings! Those brakes are diabolical. Right. Yes. Should we hit... Oh, yeah, okay. Right, that was a bit of a waste of time then. Oh well. But just to prove the point, and just to be thorough, here's the Deutsche, and we'll do that, and then there we are. Now, I'm going to be slightly cheeky, and in the wild hope that that young lad is watching this. I'm terrible intrigued, so either send me a message on some other medium, or if you wouldn't mind saying, I'm terribly intrigued as to which wheel you're getting. The fact you're getting a wheel is great news. Aye, there you go. Forwards. You've got far better brakes. Yes. Right, so there you are. Anyway, that would appear to be that proven. Or, aye. Right, so we'll do that. Garage, that. Return new, yes. And return new, yes. Right, ta-da. Whoops. Right, there we are. Now then, back to the doofer in hand. Now, this is Hillside Farm. I have been working on this a wee while, so it's not a let's play, and as I said, for the time being, it's going to be a bit bitty. Is probably about the best way I can put it. For no other reason than folk are all cock-a-hoop about FS19. I am not. All the maps that most of the maps that I'm playing have all been done to death anyway. So yet another let's play even is hardly what's required. Yeah, I need one of them. So, as and when the mood strikes me, as it were. Oh, hello, I forgot I had you. Oh, no. Oh, well, I'll have to try that, but maybe not just now. Yeah, I've been getting all some manner of MR stuff. But yeah, so it's basically as I have a topic to either talk about or demonstrate or whatever, then I will do a video. But other than that, are you seriously telling me I've got one of that? Oh right, no, it was on the previous one. Okay. So yes, whatever I was saying that. So I'm getting horribly distracted here because I did have a plan and it's just escaped. Absolutely escaped. Is it possibly that? Right, well we'll do that just now. That'll do for now because I can't really. I had a whole plan of action and it's I've distracted myself wonderfully. Which I am quite good at. There you go. Yeah, you have. Right, so anyway, so first things first. Yeah, and there you go, I've just demonstrated it. Now if we go back in here, if I was actually paying attention, now this is not fully animated, which is unfortunate, but there you go, handbrake off. Now if I go for a gear, ta-da! Now you notice when I move off, now it's not done properly, the clutch is not done properly, which will be a terrible shock to you all, I'm sure. Neither is the throttle or the brake. It's close, but it's done as combined, which is not the most accurate way of doing it. It's an entirely reasonable way of doing it, don't get me wrong. It's just not what I would prefer. But then again, I'm a bit of a sim nut, so there you are. So, there's that little delay there, which shouldn't be, but other than that, you have with gears, and bearing in mind I have a TH8 something or other. So basically it's a 7-speed gear stick and reverse, so 8 speeds altogether. And I just, I like using my toys. Now, there is a bit more on FS19, so I'll be, now that was a real huge cheat, I know, but hey. That, it'll be intriguing to see, and it'll be that guy's species that I'll be right, there we are, that I will be keeping an eye on, just to see what he thinks, because more often than not, if he's quite impressed with something, then we tend to have similar tastes, or at least he'll give an honest appraisal. And even sometimes when he says, well, I think this, and it's negative, but the reason he's negative is the reason I like it. So, I can trust what he says is the short version. Which is not something they say about an awful lot of YouTubers. There you go. And I think I've just gone entirely the wrong way. Where am I going? Well, I'm heading for the old rail yard, so I suppose I just go over the hill and far away. Right, I haven't gone the wrong way, it turns out. But, Hillside Farm. So at the moment I've got you've got nothing on. You've got four-wheel drive. You've seen drive control, and there's plenty how-tos and what it does and all the rest of it. It's a fantastic one. Now this one is done with more realistic in mind. So the difference is very, very noticeable. Very noticeable indeed. I missed. Oh yeah, there you go. Thought there might be another one. To the point where if you have your diff locks on, you take a wider turning circle, that sort of thing. That's what appeals to me. I'm not going to claim to be normal or mainstream, I'm just not. But, with the mods that I have in now, and especially with this MR mod, and there's a database where you can get a load of XMLs and they give you a handy little dummy mod, and you stick all your XMLs in there, and it doesn't actually alter the base game. Now, I haven't looked, but there probably will be a version of this. Now, and you get, when you go for the XML, you get the XML, and you also get, yeah, don't mind me, just, yeah, you just carry on. Oh, and you, yeah, and that's my fault. Of course that's my fault, yes. Right, go on you nutter, get off. Heckin' Nora. Right, how do I get out of this thing? Oh, for goodness sake, man. And that's another reason why I turn traffic off, because it's shocking. Very few much of traffic that, well, it's just the game, it's just die. Yeah. Yet again, another rant that's been well and truly done over time, so we'll not waste any time. And I completely forgotten what I was saying there. That's good. Oh yes, drive control. Right, that took me a while, but I got there. So, it's not some, and now I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's had its 2 years. Well, one of my favourite games, which is, apart from Farm Sim, up until recently, where Farm Sim is kind of dominating, was a game called Mech Warrior. Well, now I think that might be my turning. Could be wrong. And I am. Right, I might just have that up. Now that started off, I think, somewhere 2012, and it's 6 years on, and each year they keep adding bits to it, and it's absolutely transformed from where it started. But it's still the basic concept, and they've done the shocking thing of develop it. Now they have tried at various times to get all excited and do other stuff, other games and what have you, and all that sort of, well, which is what you would expect a company to do. They want to diversify, blah blah blah. But the fan base was strong enough and persistent enough that they've stuck with it. I think I'll go down here. It's a long while since I've been down here, so apologies for the hesitations, but been a wee while. So that's 6 years and it's still going strong. And now to me it's at a point where they've got rid of the major bugs. It's the ever changing balance, which to be fair is something that is almost personal preference, so they have a real hard time with that, which is, that's just the nature of the beast. But 6 years down the road, that's where they've got to. So this being 2 years old, well, look at the mods that are just coming out. I mean, I've got a proper set of gears now for this. Okay, the T-dub pack is still, the gears are absolute gobbledygook. However, if you ignore the terminology, the names, and just go in the position if you've got a shifter, they're actually perfectly lined up to what they should be. The difference is, they just have gobbledygook names. Now, if I was a clever boy, or if I could be bothered, I would go into the XML and I would alter stuff. Right, we're just a 4-wheel drive here, get a wee bit slippy. So I would go in there and I would alter it, but the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make any odds. To me, it's more the gears are there, which I think is great. Let's try you. No, you. There you go. That's better. If the gears are there, that's a big thing for me. It's got gears. Whether they're called the right thing or not is irrelevant. The more realistic, they've got the weights. There's 2 versions of the T-dub pack that I just mentioned. Oh, thank you. There's 2 versions of the T-dub pack that I just mentioned because somebody realised that one of them was not taking into account weight plates on the front of the tractor. And you're like, wow, okay, right, fair enough then. And it feels different. It doesn't wash out in corners, it handles better, it behaves more realistically. Yeah, there's a shock. And it just works. So, now excuse me, I've just got a notification. Hopefully you can't see it, but right, it's away. There we are. Right, that's great. That's, yeah, Windows, thank you. Keep your nose out. So yeah, I just think, you know, mature mods are coming through now. One thing that this more realistic does, and also there's mouse control throttle mod. Now, that's not actually right, but it's basically if you're using anything like that that's hydraulically driven and in theory controlled by the mouse, I'm using the side panel, then if you're idling, it does that. If you rev it, whee! Now what that does is when you're doing bales and you're gently bently, which I'll probably demonstrate at some point if I remember, you have far more control. On the flip side, if you're trying to get a bale or a pallet that's decided it wants to glue itself because giant's physics, you can clutch in, nail it and give it a right good shake, which at some point is what would happen, especially if you're doing mucking out, because you will always give the buck rake a wee shake, or even when you're doing silage. Unfortunately, the way silage works, still, it's much better than it was, of course, but it's still not quite there. But even that, you get your gears right, you can then keep your revs up so you got nice and snappy control. So yeah, anyway, I'm probably belabouring a point that is boring you to tears. Right, so you're up there, and this is I've flicked it up, but it's Hillside version 2. I just love this, absolutely. Hang on, my combine stopped. Why is my combine stopped? Why have you stopped? Oops. Oh no, it hasn't stopped. I haven't started it. Oh yay! Radio. So this is back on the main farm. Well, what I'm calling the main farm, where you've got the cows there and the coos and what have you. Leave that there. Yeah. Now that's not the biggest, but actually I wouldn't want to go much bigger than that. That's about a good fit for this map, I would say. And that's kind of what I like doing. I know pennies are looking quite healthy, but well, I took to the logic of selling up the previous farm and then using the proceeds of that to give the next one a bump start, because start from absolute buttons is, yeah, it's possible and it's challenging and all that, but ultimately it gets a bit boring. So I did something different. So we have coos and we've got goats, and yes, you heard right, I have got goats. I have no idea what they're going to produce, but I'm looking forward to finding out what the heck that might be. I didn't actually realise this map had goats, but this is why I sometimes like going back to maps, because you'll try a slightly different tack and discover stuff you never knew existed, and it was always there. So right, so that's you. I could actually. Now this is something else I've told that young lad about. If I hit hire worker, you get that. Now, don't you dare misbehave, thank you. Basically what that'll do now is... Who is it? Oh, it's Guinevere. Hello. Yes. So Guinevere will now trundle round and just keep going in a big circle. And follow the edge, which will get tighter and tighter, and as long as I keep an eye top left there, because of course the F1 menu, oops, not that one, that one, yes, there you are, I always have that off, but it keeps the pipe to the outside. Now the other thing I will do is I will just, what I was trying to get across to Mr. Species and never quite got there, if you do Control H to be all posh about it, click that. Now show trace, don't need that. Turn angle is always 50%, so 65 just makes things a bit tighter. Otherwise it'll make a 3-point turn where really you can sweep around it. I've tried it at 70, gets itself in a fankle, so we'll just leave it at 65. That seems to be the good bit. Now here's the other one, waiting during unload. If that suits, fair enough. Personally, no, I prefer not to. I prefer to keep going if I get there in time. If I don't get there in time, then that's my fault. So we'll do that, and we'll knock that in the head and get away from him. Away. And oh, this. Now I'll not start this while I'm outside it, because if my good friend does watch, he'll yeah, it's, well, and bearing in mind this is 50% volume. I actually had the pleasure of driving one of these for a couple of seasons, doing a bit of grain carting, and especially from in here. One, the height is horrible, which and I moaned on websites and all the rest. It's just it's too high. You're glued to the roof. In fact, I'm looking through the roof, which is much more better. And I don't understand. I don't know how to change it. And yet again, there will be a way of doing it, but I have tried, and all I succeed in doing is getting a corrupt mod. So even if they would introduce like a seat height. Because if you come back out and look at him, his eye line is just at the top of the door, yeah? So eye line, top of the door, no. My eye line is, now my eye line's top of the door, but I'm looking at the ground. I'm looking straight out, my eye line is glued to the roof. It's like they've got a webcam stuck to the roof. Anywho, sorry, I digress. Stick that in gear, that way around, and yes, we're going. This is just a glorious sound. I'll give you a wee bit of this and I'll leave you in peace after that, because I'm just going to be faffing about doing a bit of harvesting. If you would like to see how I got here or a let's play on here, oh, there you go, there's the other thing. If you're being a bit too adventurous, it will tell you, so do that. Let's have a second range. Come out of there. Now see, this is what I like about Hillside. Now I've got 4-wheel drive and rear diff. Is that not just a glorious sound? They've done a real fantastic job. Now, See where that is changing colour, where the wheels are spinning, and I don't know where it was. 34% is quite a lot. That will actually kill off crops. So even if you're sowing, and I had great fun here, if you're sowing and you get it wrong, like this is the daft thing to do, going straight up the hill. It really is. But that's okay, enough of that. But that's me. I do daft things. Let's do the sensible thing. Was that too much? That was too much. And you'll see there, front wheels are spinning. I could do with putting my front diff, but I don't want to lose the manoeuvrability. And I love revving the nuts of that engine. It's just too much fun not to. Now, snap change, because this is the one I had was a crash box, so snap change, and again. And I just love that sound. And the wheel I've got's got flappy paddles, so that's what I use for the subsections. So you knock it up a range, a flappy paddle, and then back to first, second. And that's why FS17 will hold my interest, because that just makes it so much more intriguing. Anyway, we'll stop here. Whoa! There you are, that. And a handbrake. Nah. Be rude not to. So, yes. Kind of a wide-ranging, babbling video, but there you go. That's kind of what's going on at the moment. So, in synopsis, the forage wagon is working with base game and with, dare I say, standard mods, because that old set was converted. It was Giants and then converted, so I don't know whether they used the FS17 converter, or I can't actually remember who did it, but anyway, it's a converted Giants mod. Not a huge amount of change actually done. It's just to make it play. The mod that he was using, I've seen that in there, and when I say the quality of the mod, I don't mean the textures and what have you. I mean the bits you don't see. And as I say, now this one, I think it does it, so let's just check. So if I do that, there you go. Right, that's what I'm talking about. See the front wheel? You have your chocks, and then you pick it up and it goes. So what makes me wonder is there's a subroutine or something that tells it to do that, and for whatever reason the tractor that Species was using wasn't telling the trailer, you're hooked to a tractor, you take the brake off. And it was just running, because I've had mods that do that and they won't play with certain vehicles, and I've no idea, don't claim to understand, I just know what the problem is. So there you are. I run a very heavily modded game, which I've said a number of times, so but also that's why FS19, unless there's something that they haven't told us and I'll just go ooh, and fall about being all excited, but so far no. Before I forget, I'll hook that up again, because I will forget. Now, if you've managed this far, congratulations, thank you very much, very much appreciated, because I do waffle on something terrible, but hopefully there's a few bits of useful information there somewhere, and if not, it's a wee bit of entertainment, distraction. And as somebody famous once said, you can try hitting that like button. It's not as dangerous as you might think. I won't come asking you for dodgy things. I'll just be very appreciative. So there you are. There's no comeback. Press the like button, run away scot-free. There you are. Can't say fairer than that. But yeah, I'm only just starting out, so if anybody does, that's much appreciated. If not, that's fine. And Vox Machina or Machine, I'm still not entirely sure how they meant to say it, because yeah, to me, we vox machina, a machine, because it's machines and the voice is a huge thing, having voice control. But that's the kind of thing that I will be spending a lot more time in now that my PC is behaving itself. Because VR is just, it's such a game changer. And no, it's not mature, and I honestly think it'll be at least 1 or 2 generations before it's mature, but it is certainly good enough to be used. But you won't get the quality you're seeing just now, unless you get the very much latest and greatest. You don't get that resolution in VR. The difference being that if there's ways around that with jiggery pokery, because when we started out with games, we didn't have a huge amount of resolution, so you find ways around it. So that's quite well trodden territory. But it's the stereoscopic bit, that's the bit. And yeah, I'll leave that rant for when I'm actually doing VR. Anywho, I've gone on far too long, and probably this will be a monstrous video that nobody will ever watch, but somebody might, so there you are. It's going to get thrown up anyway. Thank you very much for your time. Take care, take it easy, and TTFN.